So, good evening, all, and welcome back to the second day of our workshop series, uh, which we are doing under the Industry Connect program in association with Swalife Biotech. So, today's session, I will be talking about AI in drug discovery. So, just let me just share my screen. So I hope that you can see my screen. Um, so today I'm going to talk about AI in drug discovery, where I think we are working on a research transformation from the lab to the clinic. So myself, Dr. Praveen Bade, and I'm the founder of Swalife Biotech, Swalife Foundation, and Swalife Healthcare. And today I'm going to majorly discuss about the role of AI in the drug discovery. So what topics I'm going to cover today? So first is the drug discovery. So we had the some point covered by uh, Dr. Kulkarni Madam yesterday, but today I'm going to give you other overviews of the drug discovery. Then after that, we will discuss about the importance and the potential of AI in drug discovery. And in the third one, I'm going to talk about the precision formulation, which we are developing at Swalab Biotech Limited, and how we are actually incorporating AI in drug discovery. If time permits, then I will also show you some of the tools, AI tools that we have developed to identify the targets and optimize them, validate them. So, moving to the first topic, that is drug discovery. So, what is happening in the drug discovery? The question here is that at the moment, if we look on the last 3 to 4 years, what major shift has actually happened in a drug discovery? So now, when we talk about the drug discovery, the challenge when we look at the traditional approach. Now, when we say traditional, it is not about utilizing plant in a drug discovery. When we are looking at the traditional means uh, the process which happens in the drug discovery for that 10 to 15 years. That is identifying the targets, identifying the leads where you utilize the in vitro assays, and then optimize them to identify the targets and validate those targets, and then you move towards preclinical and clinical. That 10 to 15 years of the time where there is a cost involved into that, and that is about like more than 2.6 billion. And mostly it is a lengthy and costly uh, process, but the chances of failing is also very high. So if you look at the data, less than 10% of the drug candidates are actually entering in the clinical trial, and then future, then they are will be receiving FDA approval, and all that thing is going to happen, and then it will go in the market. And then again in the market, when they're in the market, pharmacovigilance is happening, and if the drug found that there are a lot of side effects which are actually compared to the positive, if they are having negative things, then it is again taken out from the market. So this is the traditional approach. And with the AI enabled transformation has actually happened, where the data which is there in the public domain, that data sets actually utilized to identify the pattern into it, and based on that the target identification, lead optimization, and also moving towards clinical designing is now being utilized by AI enabled procedures. And it actually has already started showing the potential, where the time frame, which like 10 to 15 years, is already reduced now to 30 to 50%, and also the development cost is been reduced to 25%. So this is already happening. So the challenges are being reduced, but simultaneously the transformation is happening. So how this shift has been occurred? So we will see the evolution of the drug discovery. So initially, in 1990s, before 1990s, there was a traditional drug discovery. When we say traditional, that means the drug discovery utilizing the natural products, then systematic screening, and there was limited utilization of the computational support, which was actually making it 12 to 15 years. Then in from 1990 to 2000, the era of high throughput screening came in. So a lot of pharma companies actually moved from the natural product drug discovery to the high throughput screening, where synthetic, the combinatory chemistry came in, where the high throughput screening was easy to do, and thousands of compound utilizing robots can be screened utilizing the high throughput assays. But still, the success was limited, and there was a need to have a improvisation there as well. Then came rational designing, where structure based drug designing was utilized, and computational modeling was there, which was utilized to get the uh, drug discovery faster and also get the information. But still there was significant limitation there, because the complex data was there, due to which the output was still less compared to what we are going to see now and we are seeing at the moment, due to the AI revolution. So 2020, after Corona, it actually started integrating the AI. AI was there already, but the data getting utilized and looking at the patterns, utilizing the deep learning, utilizing the machine learning, actual started after 2020. So machine learning came into the picture. So when we look at the artificial intelligence, machine learning is part of the artificial intelligence, and deep learning is part of the machine learning. So at every stages of drug discovery now you can utilize the AI, that is the machine learning and deep learning models into the drug discovery. So when we look at the transformation which has occurred in the drug discovery, if you look at the current state of the AI in the pharmaceutical research, about 65% of the major pharma companies, that is the percentage of top 20 pharmaceutical companies which has actively now incorporated AI in the drug discovery pipeline. And there is already like 2.9 billion of AI investment is occurred into the drug discovery utilizing AI, and that figures are from 2022. It has now increased. Already at 2022 it was 40%, and it is increased more than that now. And when we look at the startups, there are more than 250 startups already working in AI drug discovery, where they are developing AI based platform, so that way various aspect of the pharmaceutical drug discovery pipeline can be addressed. And to look at the outcome of that, we can see that more than 15 drugs are already into the clinical trial, and we can actually see approvals of this drug in 2025. So this scenario has been changed. The current situation has moved mostly with the drug discovery utilizing AI. And due to this, there is a lot of increase in the output is going to be observed. So how the AI technology is driving the innovation? So majorly, as I mentioned, the machine learning is the major part of AI, which actually utilize the machine learning algorithm to analyze the structured data and identify the pattern, which is useful to make prediction about the compound, which is used to give the profile of the ADME and also look at the potential toxicity. Now, this is again, there is a improvement in this machine learning as well. This is based on what you are actually training the machine, and based on those training, actually, it is going to give you the patterns and the prediction. But now it has moved again. The machine learning has moved, and it has moved towards the deep learning, where you can actually utilize. You can extract the information from your raw data. The raw data can be image and images. It can be structures of the protein, and also it can be properties of the molecule, and it is going to help to predict or forecast the further information in the drug discovery. In addition to the deep learning, there is also natural language processing, where the insight from the scientific literature can be utilized, patent information can be utilized, clinical trial reports can be utilized, and other text sources can be identified. So, majorly, what I see when we look at the Swalive point of view, also, what I see now, actually, the drug discovery, AI based drug discovery, has already moved from the machine learning, and it is in the part of the deep learning and natural language processes. With the deep learning, you can actually get a raw data from your experiments in the form of images, and those images can be utilized to train the model which you want to actually utilize in the diagnosing, in the treatment, or also in the drug discovery. So clinical way also it can be useful. With the natural language processes, whatever is already published, so scientific literature, you can actually get that information, and you can identify the trends in the literature which is there. But simultaneously, looking at the patent and clinical trial is also important. So one of the important part which any researcher, when they are doing the literature review, is that they should always also go and search the patents and clinical trials about the molecule, about the plant, if they're working on the plant. So that way they are going to come to know that what is at the moment happening in the drug discovery. And the major shift now from machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing has happened, and there is a area called generative AI is already there now in the system, and it is has been utilized by the drug discovery researchers to design a new molecule utilizing the novel algorithms, so which are going to be optimized for specific properties. Then they are also going to create compound that may be never consumed before with the traditional method. So this is already happened, and it is already been utilized, where the molecule structure is actually developed, and simultaneously the synthetic pathway of that molecule is also being generated using generative AI. So these are some of the AI technology which is actually driving the innovation in the drug discovery. But then when we look at the drug discovery pipeline, how AI is actually powering this pipeline. So we are going to go step by step that how it is being utilized. So for the first step, where the target identification and validation step is important, AI is actually analyzing the genomic, proteomic, and metabolomic data to identify the mechanism of the disease, and simultaneously identifying the potential in the intervention point. So, with the help of AI, you can actually look into the databases which are already there, and a lot of work has been already done on the target. So, you can identify the targets, and you can validate those targets. Now, the second thing is the lead generation. Now, if you are into the synthetic, then you can utilize machine learning algorithm and also generative AI to design the novel compound. But simultaneously, another two things you can do, that is, one is the repurposing of the existing drug, and simultaneously looking at the small molecules from the plant source can be utilized, which can then give you the information about the interaction with the identified target. So lead generation has gone now much easier, and yes, definitely with the synthetic process, it is still going to be difficult when you are actually synthesizing. But again, with the generative model, you can actually utilize that models, and you can always improvise that training of the machine and getting the information out of it. So lead generation is already happening. Then the next part is the lead optimization process, which is again here the lead which you have generated and you have tested on the target need to again optimize to make it better, make it less toxic, or even with no toxicity. So with the deep learning model, you can actually predict the compound properties. We have actually developed, I am going to show you that as well, that we have developed some of the tools, machine learning tools, where you can predict the properties of the compound. There are already some of the tools available in the open source as well, which can actually help you to get the compound property, and they can also guide you to do the structural changes which can actually increase the efficacy and also the safety profile. So that is important when we look at the lead optimization phase. And clinical trial phase, where actually it is helping in patient selection, monitoring of the patients, and also data analysis. So when we say about monitoring of the patient, yesterday we discussed this point in the decentralized clinical trial, where actually the patient can be now monitored at their home utilizing the AI tools, and also those data can be analyzed with the AI tools, so that way the regulatory can give approval, and also clinical validation can be done. So this is the power of the AI when we look at the drug discovery, and as already mentioned, that is had actually reduced the time, and due to the reduction of the time, it is also helping to reduce the cost of the drug. So it is going to help in many ways. So there is a company called InSilico, which is already actually doing a lot of things in the AI, and some of their molecules are already now in the I think phase 2 clinical trial. So it is a good way to start with the things. So now, if we are discussing about AI and how it has already improved the drug discovery, the question here is then how much important and potential of AI is in drug discovery. As we already, I have already touched about the drug discovery, normal traditional drug discovery, and AI drug discovery, and also showed you the importance of AI. It is important that we should actually look it from the uh, how it has actually overcome the limitation of the traditional drug development. So with the traditional, what is happening, it is actually was consuming a lot of time to reach to clinical and then to in the market. So that traditional drug discovery process now is already reduced, and due to that, again, the cost on the drug discovery is going to be saved. The second thing was there, in the traditional, there was high failure rates. So millions of compounds used to be high throughput screening used to be done, and then from that, some thousands of drug molecule was only going into the preclinical, and then the number was again reducing in phase 1, reduction in phase 2. So all this was happening in the traditional thing. So number was high, so number need to be high, so that way actually it can go into the clinical trial. So and again, it was making the clinical trial more complex, and measure of the time there was very high fallout of the molecules. and there was limited insight available when the manual data analysis was done. So ability to overcome any hidden pattern in that clinical trial was difficult. So making informed decision was again difficult. So this was some of the traditional drug development problems which are overcome due to the AI. So when we look at the AI accelerating drug discovery, the first process, that is the virtual screening, has been actually utilized, where rapid evolution of million of compounds can be done. So before going to the wet lab, before going into the lab, the molecules were easily screened with utilizing the virtual screening, and based on that promising drug candidate, then it was easy for going for in vitro or even going for the some of the targeted protein. The second way is that the predictive model can be developed. So AI algorithms are utilized to predict the pharmacokinetics and toxicological properties of the compounds, which is useful in the optimization of the lead. So these are again utilized at the initial stage only. And the third is that intelligent designing was done. So when you are actually screening the leads also, you can have a molecules which are having a good activity, and in the optimization you can actually generate another intelligent compound by optimizing them, so that way the generating novel and synthetic compound which can be easily synthesized can be you know um, we can get from the AI driven designing. So like specific pathways can be target, or disease pathway can be target. So with this way, AI is actually accelerating the drug discovery process. So I'm going to discuss about SOLIFE at the end also, but just to give you an idea, we started by targeting DNA damage. We actually were looking at the DNA damage response pathway, but while doing that, we came to at the conclusion that because we were targeting the synergetic effect of the molecules on the disease, we actually moved into the network pharmacology, and due to that, we had some of the targets which are important in that pathway. So based on that, we then make sure that the combinations of small molecules from plant can be developed a formulation which can target different proteins from that pathway. So this is possible due to the AI. So leveraging AI for data for the target identification is the first step, where disease pathway analysis is done. I just told you that what we done, we actually utilize the network pharmacology, which is again one of the computer based methodology, where you can look at the databases and identify the target. So pathways of those target can be analyzed, and you can identify the novel target, which can actually can be useful for taking it further into the preclinical and clinical study. Based on that, you can then go for the in silico screening, which can easily give you uh, the attachment of the leads to the target, and also the binding affinity of those leads and the target. After screening the compounds, you can then validate the target by utilizing the target drug interaction, which will be helpful to predict the information about the target and the lead, and it is going to be validate the therapeutic potential of the target. So this can be done utilizing the AI in the identification and in the validation of the target. So then the second step is that AI driven lead optimization. So as mentioned, that you can actually do the molecular designing of the already identified lead compound. You can do the designing which can be feasible for synthesizing, which will be helpful to give the good optimized physiochemical properties and also the pharmacokinetics properties. Then you can also look at the structural activity analysis with the AI algorithm, which can be rapidly analyzing the structure relationship of the drug candidate with the leads. And you can also do the selection of the leads using the AI powered model, which will be helpful for predicting the successful leads and also give you the information of the selection of the most promising compound. So this is going to help to identify and optimize the lead based on the AI. So how we can actually then take those lead into the clinical trial, and how clinical trial can be using the AI in the clinical trial and also in the patient recruitment. So first is the patient stratification, where AI can be utilized to identify and also select the most promising patient, which can be utilized in the clinical trial. So it will then improve the success rate. So merging decentralized observationals and AI is actually going to help to increase the patient retention in the clinical trial. But simultaneously, a lot of data is going to be generated, which is again going to be utilized by the AI, and a outcome of that clinical trial can be analyzed. Then trial designing is something which AI can be utilized. So you can actually generate an algorithm which can be useful to optimize the clinical trial designing. Due to that, it is going to reduce the cost. Now, we actually done one of the study here. So just recently, 2 months ago, we actually collaborated with the college, and we had 14 15 students who were working on this observational clinical trial. But see, we are so used to the old method that optimizing a clinical trial to design using AI is something it's not getting in the mind of the students, and also some of the job seekers who are actually from the clinical trial, because they are so used to the centralized clinical trial that they are not easily adopting AI to optimize the clinical trial. And due to that, what is going to happen? There will be reduction in the cost, and simultaneously there will be enhancement in the efficacy of the development. But again, as I told you that AI powered clinical trial is still something, people are still in the initial stages to understand that. And then what is going to happen, as I told you, that once if you connect decentralized, then observational and AI, you are going to get lot of data which need to be analyzed using the AI powered tools, which is going to give you different valuable insight, like patterns, different outcomes which can be point out by the AI powered analyticals, which will be utilized for decision making, and also it will be utilized for the regulatory approach. So all this is already happening, and the AI has been utilized in clinical trials and also in the recruitment and also in the data analysis. So these are some of the role of the AI in drug discovery in clinical trials, which is going to be important now to reduce the process of drug discovery, and also it is going to reduce the financial burden of the the drug discovery. But with this, what is happening, there are challenges and also some of the limitations are there of this AI in drug discovery. So majorly, if you look at the major challenge here is about the data quality. So accuracy and completeness of the training data is important. So when you are developing a tool which you are going to utilize for data analysis or for diagnosing purpose, you need to train the machine with the data which is having a high accuracy, and which is a complete data set of normal and of the test, which is going to uh, useful for significant performance of your AI model. So that is one of the challenge at the moment pharma is having, but simultaneously it is an opportunity for all the people. So one of the aim of Swalife is that we are also trying to collaborate, as I mentioned yesterday, that we are developing open innovation here with all the colleges, so that way colleges can be part of the research, and there will be a data generation which can be a another database and that database will be utilized for training all these AI models. So that is something opportunity as well for the early people who are entering in the field. Then second is the challenge is interpretability, where transparency and interpretability of AI driven decision is a crucial when we look at the regulatory point of view, because regulatory compliance and trust is important. So that is the second challenge. And third at the moment is faced, but again lot of regulatories are now working on that, and they have got their own guidelines out. That is the regulatory hurdles are there, where integrating AI technology into the existing drug development framework is going to require a complex regulatory landscape. As I mentioned earlier, that people are still in those areas finding it difficult when this type of changes are happening, where students are still thinking from the point of view of the old clinical trial, centralized clinical trial, and that is now changing. And that is very important, that students should actually, even the people who are in the clinical trials, need to understand that these changes are happening and regulatory is going to change as per the innovations happening due to the AI. Then where do I look the AI future is that, as mentioned yesterday, that precision medicine, and also with the Swalife, we are majorly focusing on precision medicine. But here, I want to highlight that we are majorly working on small molecules from plant. We're developing precision medicine from a small molecules from the plant, and we are targeting. I will tell you the what we are doing, but simultaneously we are targeting chronic diseases, where we are targeting pathways utilizing the network pharmacology. So that's what we are doing. The second is the repurposing drug. So as mentioned, there are many molecules already available in the public domain, which can be again utilizing the AI, can screen and can be utilized for different diseases. So it can be repurposed for other diseases as well. Then there is a generative chemistry, where novel drug candidate can be synthesized, develop, and also enhance the properties. So that third part is going to be a again a game changer, where you can actually have a novel compounds utilizing the synthetic chemistry. And automating experimentation is another thing, where robot platforms are already being created. There is also like robots which are doing the surgeries. So that is already been happening. So future of AI, when we look, as I told you, that 2020 there is a evolution of the AI in the drug discovery, but it is not going to go to that long. It will be go for 10, 15, and there will be a major shift again, because a lot of data, a lot of drugs, a lot of information will be out, and based on that again there will be change in the drug discovery process. But at the moment, for another 15, 10 to 15 years, we will be looking improvement in the AI models. There will be a lot of generative tools coming out in the drug discovery, which can be utilized, and the drug discovery process can be reduced like for 4 5 years, which can be again reduce the cost of development, and it is going to reduce the cost on the patient as well. So this is about the future of AI powered drug discovery, and how important incorporating AI in the drug discovery uh, is happening at the moment. So that's about the drug discovery. That's about the role of the AI in the drug discovery and the future of the AI powered drug discovery. Now I want to go and talk a little bit about the Swalai Biotech, where we started with the belief that collaboration is the key to push the boundaries of the scientific discovery. So majorly, just to tell you a little bit background of myself, I done B pharmacy in India and moved to UK to do my masters. And I done masters in pharmaceutical science. So while working on my masters, I actually develop the skills in the research, but simultaneously that collaboration was the important thing in the masters. After working there in the lab for 4 5 years, I moved for PhD, and while doing PhD also collaboration was the important part, and it actually played important role in developing my research skill, and simultaneously the entrepreneurship skills as well, due to which we actually started with Swalife. So we are the founders of Swalai Biotech, and this is my advisors and mentors for Swalai Biotech. Dr. Ian Kill was the person who actually, uh, you know, uh, point out that the PhD work which I am doing is potentially a startup material, and I should actually look for the accelerators and look for the investment. And due to him, after finishing my PhD, while working as a postdoc with Dr. Joanna Bridget, I approached to different investors, and we received investment from SOSV, where Bill Leo is our another mentor, and then we started with the Swalai Biotech. So, what was the problem Swalai Biotech solving? So, the problem we were looking was in my PhD, I worked on a UV-induced DNA damage. So, I was actually working on molecules on a formulation which can actually protect the DNA damage. So, DNA damage is occurring in the body. It is happening due to endogenous processes where the cell, when dividing, it is actually going to create DNA damage. Then oxygen radicals are there; they are creating the DNA damage. Replication is happening, that is creating DNA damage. Also from outside, that is the radiation. So UV radiations is there, other radiations are there. Then any infections which is happening due to that also. Then chemotherapy which is happening, there is a DNA damage happening, and DNA damage is actually created. Um, Creating a free radicals, and due to those free radicals DNA damage occurs, and this DNA damage need to be prevent or need to be repaired to avoid any further disease progression. So what diseases are happening? So if DNA damage is not repaired, if it's unsuccessful, then it is going to lead towards aging, and if DNA get mutated, then it is going to lead towards cancer. So damaging DNA is something which is going to create a major problem, and it is actually leading towards the chronic diseases. So we as a Swalife consider aging as a disease only, because when person is aging, it is getting all the other chronic diseases. uh, but when the mutation happen in the DNA, it is going to lead towards the cancer. And again, cancer is not one disease; it's a combination of many other diseases. So we are targeting chronic diseases, and those are going to be not a single disease, it's always a combination of diseases. So that's why we are targeting the DNA damage pathway. That is one theory, but simultaneously we are doing network pharmacology, and different pathways are also being looked, which need to be targeted, and that's why we are going for a combination of small molecules, so that way the synergetic effect of those molecules will be on different pathway. So that's the uh, idea behind it. So initially when we started, that was our target, and we develop a technology. So when we are saying that we are looking at the small molecules of the plant, behind that there is already like 4 to 5 years of study, where we actually grown the plant in the lab. We develop a technology where we can isolate the small molecules, that is polar and non-polar. We can separate them, and simultaneously the same plant was grown in the field, and we look at the small molecules and also the effect. And we found that the plant from the field was actually having good small molecules, quantity wise and also quality wise, and the effect of those fractions from polar and non-polar was good from the field. So we then stick to the growing of plant from the field, and that technology actually help us to develop some of the formulations which we bought into the market in 2018 and 19, utilizing the polyphenols from the fraction, because it was mostly that the technology actually separated polar and non-polar, and the polar is mostly for the prevention, where the non-polar have actually showed us that it is mostly for the treatment. So we initially looked at the herbal and the nutraceutical products, Well, simultaneously we are working on the non-polar compounds of those plant as well. Then the question arises that when we already have the compounds in the market, uh, what should we look into? And then in the 2020, where we had already have a clinical data from our previously launched product, we moved towards the precision or personalizing those formulation in the prevention of the chronic disease. As I mentioned, that the polar compounds are mostly in the preventive, for the preventive purpose. So we actually started with the formulation developing for prevention in the chronic diseases. So to do that, we initially, before doing that, we, as I told you, that we have already like got three divisions which are working on this. So the polar ones, we are looking at the preventive, which we name that as a pure herb. So we are looking at the small molecules from a single herb, and we are developing. We have developed a product which can actually target different protein from that pathway. Nanocore is a nano emulsion cancer treatment, where, as I mentioned, the non-polar extract was actually put into the nano emulsion, utilizing the nanotechnology. We have got 4 patents published here for the nano emulsion, and we are utilizing it further to take them into the clinical. So that target based therapy, we are going to do that with the nano emulsion. And the third one is the derivatives of the small molecule. So we got about 32 small molecule derivatives utilizing the compound that is rutin, naringin, and orintine, which we have studied as a single compound, and we have got activity. But based on the AI algorithm, we have actually got now 32 compounds. Those are the derivatives of these small molecules from the plant, which we have utilized for the pure herb. So we are actually keeping it simple, but simultaneously we are making sure that we are looking at the treatment, and we are looking at the prevention as well. So what we proposed initially with the precision herbal formulation was to do the target identification and validation utilizing the network pharmacology. Then the plants which we have actually already utilized for pure herb, we are taking the compounds, the small molecules from it, and we are doing the molecular docking. So initially in the network pharmacology, we are doing the KEGG analysis, which is KEGG analysis and gene ontology, which gives us the protein and the pathways. Then we have the protein-protein interaction network being produced using the cytoscape that help us to understand the interaction happening between the two proteins from the different pathway or same pathway. And then we are again having a another network form in the cytoscape of the components and the target, so that way we can look where the components are actually showing in the target network. So this is the network pharmacology, where a lot of information is already been generated, and based on that we are then deciding on the target, which has been identified and validated using network pharmacology. And the molecules from this plant are then you done with the molecular docking to screen them and to understand that what binding affinity and where different positions they are binding. Once that is done, we are then collecting those molecules, and we are doing the in vitro screening first to understand the concentration and toxicity. Based on those concentration, we are going for a formulation. Those formulations are then screened in the phenotypic models like live cell imaging or even the 3D cell models. And once that is done, we go for preclinical studies. And based on the preclinical result, we go for the clinical trials, mostly the decentralized clinical trials. So this is the pathway which we have already been tested. We already, as I told you, already got for the nano formulations, we already got the 4 patents. For the pure herbs, there are about 8 patents in the process. And for these derivatives, once those are synthesized, we will be going for the patents. So the novelty behind this innovation is mostly AI integrated. Then there is a bioinformatics, chemoinformatics, and simultaneously we are using traditional knowledge and holistic approach to make sure that those innovation which are happening in the herbal medicines can be utilized as a precision herbal formulation. Now with all this information, we have developed a precision herbal formulation which has been scientifically validated, also looked that there is a market demand for that, there is a sustainability practice happening, we are actually making sure that ethical sources are there for our plant material, and then we are making sure that the regulatory is also supporting our formulation. So based on this we have developed some of the precision herbal formulation. Before going any about talking about the collaboration, we now have done additional move in this precision medicine. We are incorporating the gene gene testing of the um, patient sample. So we are incorporating this gene testing test which we have developed for saliva of the patient, where we can actually look at the target of for that specific disease, and then we can have the formulation for that purpose as well. We are collaborated with some of the academic institute in Maharashtra. Those are the pharmacy colleges. The majorly work is done at our academic collaborator in UK, in Ireland, and in US. Industry collaborations are there. So as I told you, this workshop is also in collaboration with some of the training and some of the industry collaborations. We have got Rebel Bio, which was an accelerator program of SOSV, which actually gave us the funding at the pre-seed round. So these are some of the collaborators. So these are some of the awards which Swalive got in recent, like from 22, when we actually moved into the AI-driven drug discovery. Recently in 2024, we received an Best Precision Herbal AI-driven Technology Award from the Innovation in Businesses. And also, I received an CEO, Most Innovative Biotech CEO Award in 2024. So those were some of the achievement due to the incorporation of the AI in the drug discovery. So I like to thank my Swalife team and the collaborators due to which we are doing this work. And simultaneously, I like to thank all the audience who were listening to this presentation very patiently. So thank you. With this short presentation, if there are any question, definitely I am here to answer. As I mentioned yesterday, that we are trying to develop a platform here, open innovation, with the colleges, with the CROs, even with the small manufacturers. But simultaneously, by producing these workshops, we want to, develop the skills of the students as well. So that's the purpose. Okay, so as I mentioned in the start, also I'm going to show some of our tools. But here, Punit has asked a question that he want to know about types of AI tools and models used in drug discovery. Definitely, as I mentioned, there are many tools available which can be utilized in the drug discovery. It is like explaining them, it is difficult to explain them in one session, and that's why we are planning for a workshop next month. But simultaneously, I think in 2023 I actually done a workshop on AI in drug discovery, which is available on YouTube. You can always look for that. I will show you, couple of tools which Swalife has developed. Similar tools are also available, open source tools are available, which can be utilized if you are actually interested. But again, as I mentioned, that AI it is very important that you understand the basic of the AI when you are moving into the specific area. So if I give an example, if you are thinking of clinical trial, so you need to understand that how AI is going to work in clinical trial. If you are thinking of AI from the basic research, so there are different tools. So I mentioned drug discovery from target identification till the lead optimization, and in all those phases there are different AI tool. Some are proprietary, some are open sources, and they can be utilized. So I will just show you uh, a couple of tools which Swalife uh, has developed. So when you are doing a network pharmacology, one of the major first step is to identify different protein in the disease. But also you need to mine the literature. So here we have developed a tool which we call that as a Swalife literature mining. So you can actually add a disease name here, and as I told that we are working on small molecules from plants, so we are working on different plants. So here I'm going to add wheat grass. So what this tool does, if you do the search, it is actually showing the network of different articles which are there in the disease. So which articles are available, uh, which are collaborating with wheatgrass. So these are wheatgrass articles. That in addition to that, it is giving me the targets of the protein which play important role in the diabetes. So these are all the targets which are majorly playing important role in diabetes, and it can be potentially utilized as a target, and I can take it further if I'm going to work with the diabetes and the wheatgrass. Now in addition to this target, it is also giving me some of the major research article where I need to start from, and those are playing important role. It can be from the disease point of view, or it can be from the plant or the herb point of view. So this is a tool which is a initially a good starting point for us to understand a disease and to understand the herb. So this is one of the tool which is, again, as I told you. So your question was the tool. So this is one of the tool which is a AI driven and can be utilized to do the literature mining and understanding the target, that is the protein which you are working based on the disease which you are targeting. So that was one. The second one is the second. So second one here, we have developed a tool which actually help the target and lead optimization. So what need to be done is that you need to add the protein. So you can actually upload the PDB file of the protein, or you can paste the PDB structure here. So you can get the PDB from the PDB website where the protein database is there, and then you can add the smiley of the molecule which you are working on. And once you click on the optimized molecule, it is going to give you the complete information about that molecule and the binding of the target from the point of view of the binding energy, drug likeness, synthetic accessibility, and the ADME properties of that molecules. In addition to that, activity type, activity score, and efficacy. So this information can be identified utilizing the the lead and the target. So that is the second proprietary tool which we have developed under the Swalife Biotech. And then there is a third one which I want to show. It is like a protein structure analyzer. So when once you are looking for the targets and you got the list of targets, you can utilize this tool to analyze the protein. So you can actually upload the PDB file, same like in the previous tool, but also you can give the ID. So if I give the 4UND, which is a PRP1 protein, so I'm going to get the structure of the protein, and I can ask it to analyze the structure, and it is going to analyze that structure, and it's going to give me information about that protein, the different mutations. So I'm just waiting for the results. So it take time. So it's analyzing, so it is going to take time. So it is taking time. So let's see if there is any other question in the moment. Okay, so it's done. So you can actually once you clicked on analyze structure, you can actually get the results. So the structure is now in different form. So you can export the result in Excel or in the report. It is going to give you the information about protein uh, interaction analysis. So different pathways, different mutation sites, and all this information is there, which is going to be there, which can be utilized when you are validating your target. So once you identify the target for the validation purpose, this tool can be used. So that's what you can do with the protein analysis tool. Okay, so that's about the some of the tools which we have developed. Some now the second question from Puneet is that do we have to develop these tools by ourselves? So as I mentioned in the presentation also, the major challenge which is there in the AI driven any field from target or till clinical, it is the data. uh, these tools are developed by Swallow Biotech for their research purpose. So we are utilizing it to do the drug discovery and develop the formulation which are proprietary to Swalife Biotech, Swalife Healthcare. So we have developed. So for your question, um, as a if you are working in a company, the company will have their own tools, but as a new person entering, if you are interested to do the coding, if you are interested to have AI drug discovery in future, and as mentioned in previously that based on in which area you want to go, you can always try and develop the tools. There are a lot of non-coding tools available now which can be utilized to develop these types of tools. Only thing is that the databases need to be selected properly, because as I told you, the major challenge is data. You can develop a tool which might be a front end, might not work. It will show you how it works, but you need to feed it with the data. That's what we have done. So we have have a database, our own database, which we have utilized to feed the tools, and we have developed these tools. So some of the open sources are available, which these tools are available. So like the tool which I showed you for the literature mining, there are some of the literature mining tools which are available, which can be utilized for the literature mining purpose. Then for gene ontology, gene codis tool is available. For protein-protein interaction, there is a tool available for protein-protein interaction also, which is a open access, which is freely available to utilize. Then the cytoscape is there, which can be utilized again, but that is not completely a AI, but that tool can be utilized for the research purpose, um, which which is a computer based tool which can be utilized to generate the databases. Okay, so any more questions, or if you have anything to say, you can put into the comment section, and I will try to address that question. Okay, so thank you for attending the session, and as I mentioned that we will be continuing this AI based drug discovery. Already developed some of the good formulations. We are moving into now into centralized and decentralized clinical trial, and hopefully we will see the good results out of these formulations. So thank you for attending. Thank you.